from $18,000 to over $430,000 in 75 days. That's how much my team and I generated for Clavicular, until this one mistake caused everything to go downhill, forcing Clav to shut down the offer. And if you make the same mistake, you might just have to shut down your offer too. We had tens of thousands of leads and hired arguably the best sales teams in the industry. But even with that, we still couldn't save Clav's offer. We tried absolutely everything, offering payment plans, optimizing the funnel, even burning through 4 different sales teams while hammering them to perform better. But nothing worked, no matter what we tried. And since you're watching this, there's a good chance you already know what that feels like. You're not lazy, you're generating leads, your funnel is good, your sales team is good, you're posting content, and your calendar is booked up with calls. But no matter what you try, despite the fact you're doing everything right, your revenue just won't budge whatsoever and you can't figure out why. And the reason most coaches never figure this out is not because they're not smart enough or even not because they're not working hard enough. It's because the entire industry has conditioned you to believe that if your leads aren't converting, it's an issue with your sales. So you do what everybody tells you to do. You hire a better closer. You bring in a sales manager. You optimize the scripts. You hammer the reps harder. But come to find out, this entire time you've been solving the wrong problem. Your leads were never going to convert. Not because your team failed, but because the people on the other end of those calls didn't have any money to spend. And there was one thing, one single variable that explained all of it. Something so obvious that once I saw it, I couldn't unsee it. But I had to lose a client, watch a payment processor go negative, and see a full sales team get let go before I finally understood what it was. I'm going to show you exactly what it is in just a minute. But first, I need to tell you something that's going to be uncomfortable to hear. Because the truth is, this really isn't a story about Clavicular. It's a story about a mistake that's quietly happening in every coaching business right now. Maybe even yours. Here's what 4 sales teams taught me that nobody else is willing to say out loud. We had closers who worked with 8-figure offers, sales managers who built entire SDR teams from scratch, reps who were hungry, dialing hard, following up relentlessly, and every single month we hit the same ceiling. Capped. Couldn't break it. 1 team, 2 teams, 3, 4. We got the same result every single time. And past a certain point, when you see 4 completely different sales groups produce the exact same outcome, you stop blaming the people. Because if it was a people problem, at least one of those 4 teams would have broken through. But they didn't, which means the problem was never the people. The one single variable that controls everything in your coaching business, your close rate, your chargeback rate, your sales team's performance, your revenue ceiling, isn't your funnel, it isn't your sales script or your follow-up sequences, or how aggressive your reps are on the phone. It is the quality of the person sitting on the other side of that call. If that person logistically does not have the money to invest, there is nothing your closer can do, because a broke lead will always be a broke lead. And the moment you internalize that, everything changes. Because instead of trying to fix the problem, you start asking a completely different question. Who am I actually attracting? And are these people even financially qualified to even buy what I'm selling? That's the question that unlocks everything. And it's the one most coaches never ask themselves until it's too late. And I know that might be hard for you to accept right now, especially if you built your entire audience around a specific type of person. But luckily for you, I'm about to show you exactly what this looks like in practice, because we've lived through it and the numbers don't lie. 6 months ago, my partners and I got referred to Clavicular as a funnel builder. If you don't know who Clav is, at the time he had one of the fastest growing audiences in all of the online space. Hundreds of thousands of followers, 2+ high-ticket coaching programs, and more inbound leads than most operators would ever see in their entire career. Tens of thousands of leads sitting in ManyChat unresponded to, thousands more in our CRM undialed. We genuinely thought we hit the jackpot. The volume was there, the audience was there, and our eyes were set on hitting 500K per month. Considering the rapid growth combined with the skills of my team and I, it seemed achievable. Our first 75 to 90 days working with Clav, we managed to hit a record month of $150,000 in revenue. But no matter what we did, we just could not scale past that. Things started going downhill and the revenue started to plummet. So we did what the industry tells you to do. We hired a better sales team, then another, and then another. 4 sales teams with arguably the best closers in the game. Sales managers who've built 7- and 8-figure operations. We were on calls with reps at midnight, pushing them to dial more leads, follow up more aggressively, and close with more conviction. But no matter what we did, we were still capped. We had Cloud run a 30-day live stream marathon to try to get more momentum. We had one day where we hit 50K. But then we got nothing for the rest of the month. We had a good week, and then we had 3 bad weeks. And this was kind of the same pattern that was happening month over month. We were capped every single time. Eventually, things caught up and the offer couldn't sustain itself. We had too many chargebacks and there was far too much strain on each of the teams. So Clav had no other choice but to shut everything down. He let everybody go and kept one person to manage operations. And for the first 2 weeks, his payment processor went negative. Then he brought in a new sales manager to take over, someone who was experienced, someone I know personally, someone who'd worked with high-ticket offers before. But their best month with Clav was only 18K. Our worst month was about 60K. And that's when it finally clicked. It was never about the teams. It was never about the scripts or the funnels. It was the leads. Clav's audience was built on younger guys who were inspired by the lifestyle, instead of people who had money and a real problem to solve. No closer in the world can change what somebody's bank account looks like. To put numbers into context, when we first took on Clav, his offer only cash collected 18K. But once my team and I stepped in and made some changes, in just over 75 days, we took it over $439,000. We had literally 24x'd his revenue. We knew how to scale, we had the systems, the team, and the infrastructure, but none of that matters when the foundation is wrong. In the foundation in this case, it was who Clav was attracting. So if the lead quality is the root cause of everything falling to the ground, what do you actually do about it? How do you change who you're attracting without burning everything down and starting from scratch? That's exactly what I want to walk you through right now, because there's a specific process we use with every client, and it starts with one question most coaches have never properly answered. Number 1, we have to nail down the ICP before anything else. Before you lower your price, rewrite your offer, touch up your funnel, hire another closer, and even add a payment plan, you need to get obsessively specific about who you're trying to attract. This cannot be some kind of vague avatar. It needs to be a specific person. How much they earn, what keeps them up at night, what objections do they have, what transformation do they want so bad that they're willing to invest into it to become true. If your ICP is wrong, everything else will be wrong too. Your content attracts the wrong person, your funnel filters the wrong people, your sales team closes the wrong people, and then you're left wondering why you have chargebacks, your clients are headaches to work with, and your close rate is suffering. All of it depends on who you let into your pipeline. See, most coaches skip this step because they think they already know who their audience is, but they don't. They just have a vague idea, and a vague idea just produces vague results. Guessing it all won't get you to the result you're looking for. Specificity does. Skip this and you'll keep generating leads who look like good value on paper, but perform like noise in your overall pipeline. You'll hit the same ceiling Clav hit, maybe even faster. You know exactly who you're targeting now, but what's the next step from here? Well, it's simple. Number 2, you have to align your messaging to that person. Every piece of content you create, every hook, every offer angle, every price point, every DM, all of it needs to speak directly to that one specific person, nobody else. See, this is where most coaches get it wrong. They try to appeal to everyone because they're scared of narrowing down. They think a wider net means more leads. It does, but it also means more leads who can't afford what you're selling. See, the reason Clav's audience wasn't performing was not because the offer was bad. The offer was good, but the reason his content wasn't converting was because his content attracted young guys who were inspired by the lifestyle. People who wanted the results but didn't have the money to invest. When your messaging is dialed in and you're speaking to the right person, something begins to shift. Your DMs start coming from people asking how to work with you before they ever even see the price. Your sales call starts with people who are already bought into you and your offer, not people who are price resistant. Your close rate goes up, but not because your closer got better, but because the person on the other end was qualified before they ever even booked. This is why you can't skip this, because if you do, you'll just continue filling your calendar with people who want what you're selling, but genuinely cannot afford to buy it. This is clearly an issue with messaging, not sales, and because of it, it will bleed your team dry. But here's the thing, once your organic messaging is dialed in, if you want to truly accelerate who you're reaching, there's one more lever in the space that most creators completely ignore. You need to use paid traffic to reach the right person faster. Organic content is great for casting a wide net. You attract whoever the algorithm decides to send you. Some of these people will be qualified, but a lot of them won't be. But paid traffic flips over that equation. It lets you decide exactly who sees your offer. If only we'd had time to actually run paid traffic for Clav in the beginning. Ads specifically targeting people who had money. Unfortunately, because of Clav's bandwidth, we did not have time to record ads. The reason most organic creators avoid paid ads is because they're afraid of the spend. But let's run through the math real quick. A $50 cost per lead that converts is infinitely more valuable than a $5 lead that does not. The goal was never to get cheap leads, but it was to get qualified ones. If you skip this and you stay dependent on the algorithm to deliver the right people to you, then good luck scaling your offer to wherever you want to go. Sometimes it does, but most of the time it doesn't. And when your revenue is tied to whoever the algorithm decides to send your content to, you're basically just betting on your business to succeed. At the end of the day, lead quality is the foundation. Everything else is built on top of it. Your funnel, your offer, your sales team, and your price point. All of it works if the person at the top of your pipeline has money and a real problem that they want to solve. You need to get the foundation right first, or eventually you'll find yourself having to tear everything down and start from the ground up. So let me bring this full circle, because if there's one thing I want you to walk away with from this video, it's this. 4 of the best sales teams in the industry couldn't fix an offer with broke leads. And it's not because the teams were bad or because the offer was bad, but because you genuinely cannot close somebody who doesn't have the money to invest. And no amount of strategy or effort can change that. If your targeting is wrong, nothing else you build on top of that will hold. But when you get that right, I'll tell you what actually changes. Your sales calls stop feeling like sales calls. Your close rate goes up because the person on the other end already has the money to invest. Your chargebacks drop because your clients are invested in the outcome and aren't just scraping together the minimum payment to get in. Your revenue stops hitting a ceiling because you're not capped by the financial limits of the people you've been attracting. And the day-to-day changes too. You get less stress in your team, better client results, and cleaner operations. A business that actually works the way it was supposed to. But if you don't fix this, then I'll tell you what continues. You continue generating leads who look impressive on a spreadsheet, but never convert. You keep cycling through sales teams, blaming the reps for a problem that was never theirs to solve. You keep hitting the same ceiling month after month, wondering why nothing is moving despite everything you've been trying. And eventually, the chargebacks pile up, the team burns out, and the offer becomes impossible to sustain. That's exactly what happened with Clav. It didn't have to end that way, and it doesn't have to end that way for you either. So if you run a coaching business and recognized any of what I described, the leads coming in but not converting, the sales team struggling to hit numbers, and the ceiling you just can't seem to break through, the problem might be exactly what I've been talking about. We have a specific process for diagnosing this. It's the same process we use for every client we take on. And if you want to know what that looks like for your offer specifically, drop a comment below with the word targeting and I'll personally reach out.